Mercury in Virgo, how it shapes your personality and life. The Mercury Virgo thinker likes to tinker, and has a knack for solving practical problems. She's prone to worry, though, and analysis paralysis. You analyze. Virgo is considered a mercurial sign, and those with this placement have gifts of communication. The thinking processes are concise, and have a sense of order built in. If this is your Mercury, you're apt to be a wordsmith, someone that builds up language carefully. This orderly mind frame translates to a high level of competence, in whatever field of work you engage in. You like to approach new situations in a detached way, and coming to your own conclusion, after you've collected all the facts. This makes you a cool head in a crisis. You're able to be matter-of-fact, when others lose their clarity in emotions or passions. You express your views in a modest way, and don't usually need others to validate your perspective. The Virgo mentality is self-contained, and whole unto itself, which makes you a clear voice that grasps the essentials. The whole story. In Virgo, Mercury speaks with a voice of integrity. What motivates the attempt to understand is a desire for the whole picture, to have an integrated view. You're able to weave in all the threads, seeing how they fit into the big picture. The fascination with the pieces of the puzzle can keep you from seeing the overall structure. You can drive people crazy when your precise focus becomes a pin light on an issue. Getting stuck on the details can keep you from seeing other dimensions of the situation at hand. If you're not involved in something that feels purposeful, you lose interest. As a creative thinker, you stick close to the ground, in a structure that's got a real-life rhythm. This gives you the ability to write, draw, sing, express your imagination in ways that others can relate to. You find the artful in the everyday. Trees and the forest. Your manner of speaking is understated, which is why your humor comes off as dry. You notice things that others miss. Your mind separates the wheat from the chaff, drawing out the essentials on which to build a clear vision. You're not easily distracted by empty words, and come across yourself as sincere, a virtuous thinker. This makes others more likely to trust your opinion, since it's usually pure, untainted by a hidden motive. The Virgo mentality is a working one, always seeking to be productive. You like to keep the wheels turning, and enjoy puzzles and word games that challenge your mind. You like to read, and are drawn to anything well written, and that meets your standards of research. You're a serious thinker, who is always refining your perspective. You're a very DIY thinker, and may have a lot of how-to books on your shelf. You like learning about something, but then putting it into practice, too. You're not as interested in abstract philosophizing, if there's no way to see it play out. Since you're a genius at sussing out cause and effect, you enjoy seeing, if you're right about this or that solution to a problem. Working style. Mercury Virgos are considered useful by friends and colleagues, because they have a good eye for those tiny aspects that are hidden or are in plain sight, but no one seems to see them. They only like to study, or work in an organized and disciplined environment. Good with numbers and facts, these guys could be great mathematicians. They are not the best with emotions, in contrast with the people with their Mercury and water signs. The Mercury Virgos can be difficult to reason with, because they are too reserved. It wouldn't matter if they would have the same interests as their interlocutor, they would still be too shy to interact. And when they'll be ready to say something, they will lose themselves in the details, and forget all about why they started the conversation in the first place. Humble and protective of their ideas, Mercury Virgos are sometimes impatient. They can take more work than they can handle, and after start complaining about it. They like to deal with intellectuals, and to be challenged in a smart way. They would do a great job as astrologers or accountants because they have a good memory, and can master technicalities very easily. As they have Mercury on their side, they can communicate very well, both verbally and in writing. The Mercury in Virgo man. With a dry humor, and a great attention to details just like his female counterpart, the Mercury Virgo man can notice things others usually don't. He can separate the good from the bad in a very effective way, leaving only the essential to be analyzed and appreciated. It's impossible to distract him with empty words, because he's sincere himself. People will always trust his opinion, as he has a clear mind. This guy is a hard worker, who can't stand not being productive. Any challenge and puzzle will make him want to be active. He likes to read and research. After all, Mercury Virgos are great thinkers who need to be kept interested in the most intellectual subjects. Philosophies that are too abstract are not to their liking, as they are practical people. Because he wants to do things himself, the Mercury Virgo man will have his house filled with DIY furniture. The Mercury and Virgo woman. Mercury Virgo women are skillful communicators. Concise and good with words, they will give meaning to any conversation, and will express themselves easily and correctly. People will always think of them as competent to talk on any subject. Relaxed and laid back, they will never rush a discussion, because they won't want to express themselves without knowing the facts. When others get distracted by emotions, these guys keep a cool head. It's rare that someone would even dare to contradict them. Their voice is too clear, and their opinions too based on facts for someone to ever want to say something different than what they said. But because they are focusing too much on details, they will lose when they won't be able to share their opinion on the big picture. A woman with Mercury in Virgo will not see the forest from the trees. And she will drive people crazy with her continuous look for perfection. The more she will strive to make things perfect, the more she will fail, because perfection doesn't really exist. When she doesn't have a purpose, this lady starts to feel useless. She's a great thinker and doer, so she needs to have a rhythm and a lot of action in her life. Imaginative, she could be a great writer, painter or singer, because she finds artistic inspiration in everything. Mercury Virgo personality in a nutshell. Very intelligent, Mercury Virgos are great intellectuals, who can solve any kind of problem, and you can trust them to put things together very easily. Not only they are very smart, but they also don't shy away from dealing with complicated issues. What will seem simple for them will amaze others beyond imagination. Because they want perfection in everything, they will criticize and have doubts about how others can do a job. If properly channeled, this quality can be very useful. Their brain is like a computer that solves problems, soaks up new information and organizes data. The brain power Mercury can offer is incredible under the Virgo's influence. Other people will always feel like they are less than the Mercury Virgos. It won't be like it's their intention for things to happen this way, but they are too articulate, and can impress very easily. They can be the most intelligent people at a gathering. Their sarcasm and slightly awkward sense of humor is famous. When someone will talk and make errors, don't expect a Mercury Virgo to sit down and be quiet. He or she will intervene and make use of facts to bring serious arguments into discussion. Because Mercury Virgos are funny and attentive to details, people will want them around at social gatherings and parties. And they won't mind all the attention, because they like to share opinions, and to talk about anything. The more they will be out in the world, the more famous and interesting they'll become.